Welcome back. It is the moment we've been waiting for all season long. It is the Mind Games League Season 3 Grand Finals. I'm Stax, joined by Tom Kelly with Absinthe pushing the buttons behind the scenes. We've got Overrated and Copenhagen Flames. They won their semifinals earlier today. Now they're meeting in the Grand Finals for everything at the end of this season. One of these teams takes home the grand prize. The other wonders what might have been. And Tom, I guess the question I ask you early on here is, does either team worry about the long layoff that they had waiting through that bronze match? Do you think there'll be any kind of conservative play from them coming into the grand finals?
Well, there's always the first game in a long series always has some sort of conservative play or over aggressive play. It's the first game is always for both teams to kind of feel each other out, right? So we're not going to. So whatever happens in the first game is not going to be a complete tell of what will happen in the whole series. However, Copenhagen Flames did win a series, a best of 5 series against Overrated before, and they swept them 3-0. So we'll see what Overrated can do to redeem themselves.
This will be popped away by Ike Wolf. And this long best of 7 is underway. It's Tylacto off the back wall. He's had a pretty good day today. Not just in Mind Games League, but also in the ESL tourney earlier. We're told he won the tournament coming in before this started today. So couldn't get much better for Tylacto. He'd love to cap the day off with the Mind Games Season 3 championship. As Tylacto makes a save here, it would make 2 straight championships for Ashton and Ike Wolf. They were the winners of the 2v2 championship last season. As Ike Wolf pops this up and veers away. Didn't have much boost to go after the ball. Now he does, and he'll just lob one downfield and buy more time for his teammates to get boost. And it turns into an attack as Hansen has to make a save. And Bakey just goes flying downfield into a demo from Tylacto. So Waffle has to defend. Bakey needs to get a net with only 34 boost. And he's able to make one save. Needs another, and he has it. Great defending from Bakey after the respawn.
Yeah, Copenhagen Flames is doing a great job on the defense from the quick aggression by Overrated. Overrated doing a really good job on putting the ball exactly where they want it, being able to push it forward. You know, Ike Wolf actually being a very highly rated 1s player and 3s player. I believe he's 44 globally on the 1s ladder and ranked 50 globally on the 3s ladder. So he's very highly rated here, but it seems like that can't carry him through in this whole series, as 3s is a much different game than 1s.
Popped away by Waffle, and Ike Wolf is there with control on the back wall. Over one, but Hansen's there to back him up. Ashton downfield for Tylacto. Oh. Ike Wolf with the bump on Waffle, and there's your first goal for Overrated.
What a beautiful pass from Ashton. Ashton was actually at his goal line when he pushed it forward to Tylacto. Tylacto having an easy enough aerial play to redirect that ball down into the goal. That worked out very well for them there. That's a 1-goal lead halfway through this match.
And now a chance for Copenhagen Flames from their own zone. Waffle might have run out of boost there, and here comes Ashton. That'll angle down, and right there is Hansen, well read, and quickly bombing that one downfield. It's Waffle against Ike Wolf. Ike Wolf comes out ahead. And he'll just take the corner boost and just harass this defense. He blows up Waffle. Only a 2-man attack downfield. Waffle's back, though. And Tylacto will have a big drive down, or actually a soft lob. It looked like he was gearing up for a big one. Instead, he just drops it off. And now it's sent downfield for Copenhagen Flames. And there's Hansen bopping one in, and a 1-1 game late in game 1.
Well, Bakey's pass to Hansen was actually on point. Hansen reading that wall bounce perfectly. That shot even surprised me, and I'm sure it took Tylacto, Ike Wolf, and Ashton off guard. Because that was a very fast shot, and that read off the side was beautiful. Tylacto with the Mind Games and the dribble pass too.
Oh, this is spectacular from Tilacto. Waffles went flying almost out of the map, and Tilacto dribbles right past the other two defenders. Great individual effort, and Overrated is back in front. 1:43 and now counting to go in game one of a best of 7. It's thrown in front by Hansen, and Eichwolf is there with a big clear downfield. And Waffle and Hansen run into each other. Hansen keeps that away from Ashton, though. Great recovery from Hansen. It absolutely saved a goal there. Now Eichwolf around the corner, and Ashton couldn't get there in time. Waffle with a big clear, and they've only got Eichwolf back. Can they get back onto this one quickly? Eichwolf able to clear away, but not very far. Bakey, back wall, and Hansen denied by Ashton as the action moves very quickly back and forth. Bakey to center against Eichwolf, and Hansen couldn't find it. And now we're in the final minute of game one. And Overrated is the team in front for now. But it seems like a matter of time before Copenhagen Flames find that equalizer. They've been very close, and they've had Overrated kind of running around in the defensive end. Not sure they've got a lot of purpose right now in their defending. This is thrown off the side, and Eichwolf will boom it away.
Yeah, Overrated has done a really good job, especially on their individual plays, but also in their passing plays. Their passing plays being the way they scored their first goal in this game. A beautiful pass from Ashton to Tilacto. If we can see some more of that coming out from them, they should have a very easy series. However, this win against CPH Flames to start off this best of 7, may surprise some, but Tilacto, Eichwolf, and Ashton are looking great. Eichwolf with a 0-second goal, just a consolation 0-second goal, even though they already had secured the win.
Yeah, so Eichwolf will get one. It will go down officially as a 3-1 win, but it was much, much closer than that, as Overrated hangs on in game one. But as we always say with these long series, especially the best of 7s, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Game 1 to Overrated, but I wouldn't be surprised to see many, many more games to come. I don't think this is going to be a sweep based on what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, especially because of the history between these two teams. CPH Flames actually beating out Overrated in the previous time they met in the actual Mind Games League. CPH Flames 3-0'd Overrated in the regular season. But now Overrated takes the first game 3-1 in this best of 7. Overrated are not looking to go down like they did in the regular season.
So the players have loaded in for game 2 in a best of 7. And we'll get underway here. Countdown beginning. And it's Bakey and Ashton on the kickoff. Ashton wins the kickoff. And Waffle, the good news is Waffle got the boost, and that's what matters, right?
Yeah. You see, Bakey actually got there really fast with the ball. However, Ashton, he slowed himself down a bit so he could actually dunk Bakey on the kickoff, and it worked out really well for him as their third man back didn't stay in the goal. He went for boost, and that's not what you want to do here.
Boost is Overrated, and Overrated has a 1-0 lead. Here we go. Eichwolf, he might have got a piece of that ball, but it goes off to the corner, and now Waffle to center, and Tilacto does a nice job of killing that right on the back wall. So Eichwolf downfield, Tilacto off to the corner, needs another touch, and instead it's downfield. They had all 3 members of Copenhagen Flames right around the same area. See if that continues as Waffle just finds the mark. Nobody from Overrated hit this, and bring the Flames. We've got a tie game.
And that was a good play by Copenhagen Flames. However, it wasn't even that great of a play. It was mostly because of Overrated's bad positioning on the wall there that led to Copenhagen Flames being able to actually score that. That shouldn't have been a scoreable ball, but because of the mispositioning of Overrated, they were able to get that one. And that's lucky for them as they've equalized it less than a minute into the match.
And now the long wait begins perhaps for another goal. I don't think you can see much more of that coming. That sloppy defensive play. I think both teams are going to wake up now. They realize they've dodged a bullet in not allowing, 3 or 4 goals the way they played defensively early. Here's Ashton to center. Bakey got stuck on the wall, and Eichwolf slams it home.
Eichwolf doing a really good job on getting that finish there. Ashton getting that beautiful pass center. Bakey actually jumps off the wall there looking for the aerial challenge. However, he mispositions himself as well, and Eichwolf's able to finish that one into the left corner.
Bakey with a drive. That going to drop straight down, and Ashton is right there on the back wall. Well done. So now Waffle tries to just drop this off to the corner. It's coming right back in front. So Hansen will clear it away. But Bakey giving chase, able to get this over Tylacto. Looking to center, and he's got it by another. It's thrown in front by to Waffle, but Waffle can't get the shot on. And downfield it goes. A great opportunity for Copenhagen Flames. And as this series goes on, I bet they're going to want that one back. Here goes Hansen with a drive, and Eichwolf is right there. And back to the other side of the field it goes. Ashton will collect with full boost, and he's able to get that by an oncoming attacker. Hansen now blocked by Tylacto as we come up on the halfway mark in a back and forth game 2. Right now it belongs to Overrated. They are looking to take a 2-0 series lead, Tom, and there's a shot going off the back wall. Might have been a centering pass, but it goes away. And Eichwolf will just try to kill some time now for Overrated.
Overrated has the same scoreline they did in the previous game until the 0-second mark when they scored that 0-second goal to bring it up to 3-1. It was 2-1 for a very long time, and considering there haven't been many points scored in this game in total or against these two teams at all, I see that this 1-goal lead, although it doesn't seem like much, is actually a huge advantage for Overrated.
Waffle will wheel around on this and has it immediately taken away by Eichwolf.
Oh.
There's Tylacto. He ended up in the net and he didn't take the ball with him. Waffle blocks off Ashton inside 2 minutes. And Bakey will have a chance. Takes this away from Ashton. Tylacto can't get there, but the shot's high. Off the corner again, and Tylacto to Ashton. But Bakey is right there. Eichwolf right down between the lines, and Waffle with a clear. As Copenhagen Flames hang on to a little bit of hope in Game 2, only trailing by a goal. Still a minute and a half remaining. But they need to get forward. They need shots more than anything right now. They only have 2. Their opponents have 2, but they both found the net. And now another one played in by Ashton. This will count as a shot, and Hansen credited with the first save for the Flames in game number 2. So they haven't faced many shots. They haven't needed to. There's Hansen floating through, but he couldn't make contact. Ashton with a clear, and it starts an attack back the other way in the final minute for Overrated. Off the post, and Eichwolf will finish it for his second.
Overrated are relentless. When they get an offensive opportunity like this, you can see Eichwolf and Ashton both moving with the ball together in synchronized plays there. They're both attacking the ball as a team, not at the same time, but together. They're rotating back in and out, right? They're both attacking the ball one after another, which means that the pressure is always applied to their opponents, and their opponents can't get a good clear, and they're able to force it in with Eichwolf's coming in from the back line. And that was so necessary for them, because now this 3-1 lead is exactly what they had last game. If they can keep this up, this series will be over before we know it, and there's Eichwolf coming in with another one.
Eichwolf completing the hat trick, and it's more of the same from Overrated. We have seen them come through time and again in the final minute of games all day today. And it's no different in the grand final. They're about to take a 2-0 series lead unless something really catastrophic happens in this final 30 seconds. Waffle just drops this off to the corner, and I think Copenhagen Flames may well be content to just go on to Game 3 and forget this one ever happened, as again they swept Overrated in the regular season. But it's a much different story here. 4-1 in Game 2 A hat trick from Ike Wolf. One more, add another log to the fire. Ashton makes it 5-1, and it's another 0-second goal, putting an exclamation point on an overrated victory.
Ike Wolf's pass to Ashton there was so perfect. Ashton getting a beautiful redirect to the perfectly center of that goal to secure the 5-1 scoreline in the second match of this best of 7 series. It is now 2-0 in favor of Overrated against CPH Flames. And this scoreboard here, it always tells us this story. We have 7 shots on goal for Overrated, 4 shots on goal for CPH Flames, but Overrated just had so much great teamwork there, so many great passes on the side of specifically Ike Wolf and Ashton. Their passes have been making their offensive plays so deadly, and they've transitioned so many of their offensive opportunities into actual goals.
Well, it's been a pretty good weekend for Copenhagen Flames. They're trying to continue on, but they have not been able to through the first 2 games of this grand final. They were able to get, though, to this grand final stage this weekend, and they also had a strong showing in the Leaf Esports seeding tournament. I'm sure they're very much looking forward to playing on in that season when that really gets started. The league play just getting started, I believe, next week. But for now, they find themselves trailing 2-0, but still plenty of time to lead the comeback charge. They're only halfway out of this grand final. And now they're looking to start things off on the right foot in Game 3. It's Bakey. Tough angle right by the defender. And there's Bakey and the Flames with a 1-0 lead.
Waffle tipped it down to Bakey, and then Bakey takes it all by himself, popping up, passing to himself off that wall, and getting the quick shot from the ground up into that goal past the defense of Overrated. Really good play by him, and that is the first goal they have scored in about 5 minutes now. The second one coming in so fast by Hansen.
Yeah, just a few seconds later, and triple digits coming in from Hansen, 107K. And there's a quick second goal for the Copenhagen Flames. They have awoken here in Game 3, back with a vengeance. And a kickoff might stall things here as Overrated does win it. It's Ike Wolf. But now Waffle right down the middle, just outside the lines actually. Ashton sends it away, but another one in from Hansen, and the Danes are great in Game 3.
This is completely unexpected. Waffle popping it up, putting Ashton in a really bad position. Hansen just placing that ball perfectly in the goal. I just feel like Ike Wolf and his crew just haven't had their opportunity this game to really, get themselves settled in, because CPH Flames are just moving so fast.
But the goals keep coming in. There's Ike Wolf on the feed from Tilacto. And boy, there's not a lot of defense here in Game 3, Tom.
Yeah, there really isn't. There's, what is that? Is that 6 total shots on net? 4 of the 6 shots on net have actually been goals, which means, yeah, like you said, the defense is absolutely minimal. But maybe it's just that both Overrated and CPH Flames, when they get that offensive opportunity, it seems to be when their opponents have already overcommitted for a play, and they're not in position to save it. And I have to give it to Overrated. They've been letting these goals in 3-1 already. This is what they were leading by last game.
Well, plenty more to come for sure, but things have slowed down. We haven't had a goal in the last 30 seconds, so we've got that to go on. As Tilacto will bring this right by Bakey. And Hansen is able to win that challenge. Well done on the wall. It looked like he was beaten, but he made a good recovery. And now Ashton trying to center. Instead, it's Ike Wolf for Tilacto. And the shot goes just wide. Here goes Hansen back the other way with Tilacto stuck in the net. It's Hansen against Ike Wolf. Needed another touch. Instead, went right under the ball. And downfield it goes, back to the orange corner. Ike Wolf with a demo, and a power play opportunity to steal an ice hockey term is gone by the wayside. Killed off nicely by the Flames, and Ike Wolf can only pop this up. Needs Ashton to help instead. No pressure in from Copenhagen. And it remains just 3-1, not for long. There's Waffle getting in on the scoring, and it's 4-1.
Yeah, the players, the game will never let you be right when you say a number or a play that was being made. Oh yeah, the score is 3-1. Yeah, nope, it's 4-1 as CPH Flames scores another one in this game. They really must have done something, shaken up their play style, really turned it around, or maybe it's Overrated who got overconfident in their play, because it seems like there's a huge difference between this game and the previous ones of this series.
That's an empty net too, and it goes in from Bakey. Everybody pushing forward for Overrated, and when they got pushed back, there was nobody to stop it.
Yeah, what a great clear by them. Just, there was absolutely no one back, like you said, and that's a huge problem for them, because letting those easy goals go in, that's like a rookie mistake. They can't have that happen in a tournament like this.
Telacto will drop one down, but Waffle's up to the challenge defensively. Ike Wolf throws another one at the back wall. That'll be cleared away as well. Inside 2 minutes to go. And Ashton will just pass one back to Telacto, and his follow-up was just swatted away. Copenhagen Flames are not messing around in Game 3. They are not going to get swept. They are determined not to get swept anyways. And Hansen now starting it for Bakey. Off the crossbar, down and away. That easily could have been a sixth goal, and we could have seen a possible Brazil setup. The way this game is going right now, 1:20 now as Bakey sends this in. And Copenhagen Flames are not letting Overrated breathe when they're in the blue zone.
Yeah, they really aren't. CPH Flames are doing such a good job on getting the ball out of their end, unlike last time when Ike Wolf and Tylacto and Ashton were just putting on too much pressure for them to deal with. This time, however, they've done a really good job on turning that around and counterattacking at the right times, not letting Ike Wolf get past them too far and make his solo plays to get past their goalies.
Bakey able to beat Telacto, and he'll leave it for Hansen. And a bouncer sent away by Ashton. 37 seconds. And this game is all Copenhagen Flames. They're going to get their first win in this best of 7. They'll cut the series deficit to 2-1 when time runs out. Ashton will try to get something started for Overrated. See if they can get any small consolation prize. This will drop straight down. It's little more than a gimme, and Ike Wolf is going to own goal it, because why not?
Yeah, why not exactly? He sees the opportunity. He's like, you know what? They're probably going to score this anyway. Let me just throw it in the net, as it's almost Brazil here. However, it's becoming much clearer to see how Copenhagen Flames were able to 3-0 Overrated in the regular season, because now, because earlier in the series, Overrated were looking so strong against them, and I was thinking, how is it possible that CPH Flames beat them so handedly? Well, this is exactly how CPH Flames beat Overrated. Overrated seemed to be a little overrated, if I do say so myself.
Well, CPH Flames matches their highest, no, not their highest, actually, the highest goal total we've seen so far today. They score 6. Overrated had scored 6 against Atlas Firewall in a very weird third game in the semifinals. A semifinal that did go all 5 games. So now it's 2-1. Overrated, still halfway there, but they have met a roadblock in Game 3. Copenhagen Flames with 10 shots, and the hat trick credited to Bakey. I believe he got his third on the own goal there from Ike Wolf. But either way, we move forward now into Game 4, and now we're approaching the halfway point in the series if it does go the distance. And the question is, how does Overrated recover? We'll get 5 more minutes on the clock And we'll see exactly how they recover after a thrashing from Copenhagen Flames. Here we go. It'll be Eichwolf for Overrated. And a neutral kickoff. Going to be followed up by Ashton. And played right out. There is Bakey to send it all the way downfield. And things will slow down a little bit early on here. Hansen really kind of struggling to get in position in net. Did come up with a big clear in the end. And Eichwolf will throw this away from any danger from Waffle. Gonna be Tilacto now, taken away by Waffle. Eichwolf only pops it up. Hansen is there, able to win this 50-50. And Tilacto and Eichwolf combine to send it away.
Yeah, multiple saves coming out there for Overrated. Very close play by them. Scary position that they were in. However, the defense was there for them. It looks like, however, CPH has taken an early control over the ball movements here. And that's exactly what early ball control will do for you. It'll get you an early lead. Hansen coming up with a nice shot.
Yeah, Bakey just pushing that one away from Ashton. Hansen finishes the job. Less than a minute gone by. Copenhagen Flames have an early lead. And they're looking to level this series, bring it back to 2-all, and turn this best of 7 effectively into a best of 3. There's Waffle doing it all himself, but easily sent away by Eichwolf. And that tennis match begins. Very similar to Disc Jam, but there's a shot sent away by Tilacto. Waffle coming in off of Eichwolf and in. The lead doubles for the Flames.
Waffle, great aerial here to come up from the midfield and pops it straight down past the person who's in the air, which was Ashton, going up for that block. However, he gets it down past him and over Eichwolf into the goal. Really good play by him, and that's a 2-goal lead already. That's a lot. And looking forward to this series, it seems like they've just turned around the momentum so strongly. I'm not sure if Overrated are going to be able to bring this back.
Eichwolf denied by Waffle. So Hansen with a goal and an assist. Plenty of goal participation as he's had all season long. Really everybody for Copenhagen Flames has all season long. And they are closing in on tying this series. It's Bakey to send this around. Tilacto brings it back in, but it's not a pass. It's just a touch. It's almost a clear. Downfield again, and Waffle just missing the mark, trying to direct that back on target. Back downfield from Tilacto, and Waffle is there. And he'll quickly chase this up the wall. Off the ceiling, and Ashton has to send it away. Hansen was right there, looking for a second goal. At the halfway mark now, 2-0 to the CPH Flames. And looking for a third. Waffle just high and wide. Follow-up from Hansen's no good. But Bakey is there. And all 3 members of Copenhagen Flames have a goal in Game 4.
You know, some of the best passes are just bad shots, right? There's Hansen coming up for the shot. You said it went high and wide. Yeah, completely missed the goal, but it set up perfectly for his teammates to come in and shoot that because Overrated overextended themselves to the side to try to save that. But when they didn't actually make contact with the ball for a clear or a save to the side, the ball straight in the middle, right in front of the goal, Hansen was able to follow up and take the shot on net. Hansen is doing a really great job in this whole game, in this whole series, really, to put the ball exactly where he wants it.
Yeah, the confidence is flowing from Hansen and the Flames. Bakey downfield. Eichwolf patiently waiting. He waited too long. Bakey drives another one in right at the 2-minute mark.
Again, Bakey reading the wall so well. He's been reading these corner hits and the wall rebounds so well this entire tournament, this entire playoff series, in fact. But now that we're in the grand finals, it's doing them so good as they hit a 4-goal lead already. Now, Overrated hasn't found this kind of success against CPH Flames besides the the second game that they played.
Well, here goes Eichwolf, and Waffle stuffs him there. looking to tie this series. And remember, it's a best of 7 in the grand finals.
Yeah.
Not a best of 5 as we've seen all night. So they are not closing in on match point just yet. There's still plenty of time for Overrated to recover. But boy, they've got some recovering to do as they'll be licking their wounds for the rest of this game. Off the back wall, Hansen for Waffle. There's another setup and a 5-0 lead.
Like, how can you come back from this kind of deficit multiple games in a row, right? This is the second game in a row where they've just completely turned it around, and Overrated has done next to nothing to show for the pressure they've applied on their opponents.
There's Eichwolf finally with a shot, but it's sent away by Waffle. There have been plenty of shots, 5 shots now for Overrated, but nothing doing on the offensive end. They're still being shut out. 4 saves from Hansen and Waffle combined. As this goes off the back wall, and Eichwolf will play it further. And now it really is important for Overrated to get a goal, get anything moving forward, because now they need some reassurance that they are not just getting completely outclassed, that they still have a chance in this series. This is turned on its head completely. Telacto with a shot, that's sent away. Follow-up from Eichwolf is not there. And it's going to be Hansen bombing one downfield in the final 30 seconds as Copenhagen Flames continue to pour it on, looking for an 11th shot. Here goes Waffle, but that's going to go high and wide. Can he drop it off in front? He does, but Telacto is there for the stop. So they've at least defended well in the final minute and a half or so. Except they're going to give one up right as you say that.
Yeah,
there's Bakey to put one in. He's got a hat trick, and it's another 6-goal performance from the Flames.
See, that's why you don't ever compliment people as a caster, right? Because right when you do it, they make you look stupid by completely messing up the play. You know, Eichwolf actually missing that hit off the wall there. But what's the real difference between a 5-0 game and a 6-0 game, right? Either way, Overrated is just going to completely move on from this and ignore the fact they got completely destroyed in this game. And they need to focus on, they need to find the switch that CPH Flames turned on. And they need to, first off, they need to flick that off and then find their own and flick it on. Because whatever Copenhagen Flames has changed from the first few games they've played against both Overrated and even the previous series they played, they're doing something right. Overrated looks so confident coming into the early games of this series. Right, the first 2 games of the series, they completely demolished CPH Flames 3-1, then 5-1. But CPH Flames coming back 6-0 in the 4th game, tying up this series 2-2. Remember, this is a best of 7. Those in the chat here, this is a best of 7, which means first of 4 games wins it. Next team to win 2 more games will take the $75 prize and the grand champion title of the Mind Game Esports League.
We get underway in Game 5, and Overrated are trying to recover from being outscored 12-1 in the last 2 games, and Waffle has to clear this away. Not under any pressure as he takes the corner boost. And an easy clear from Bakey. He's going to get credit for a save there somehow. And Waffle is going to take his time. Playing that back to the wall, well done. It threw Eichwolf for a loop, and it disrupts the Overrated attack just enough as Copenhagen Flames able to get back defensively. Waffle can't stop this from Telacto. What a play! And there's Telacto waking up in Game 5.
That's a really nice stop by Telacto, able to turn it around and tip it center for the goaler. He's jumping off the wall just to secure that one, putting it in the net. That is the first goal that Overrated have scored in 3 games, right? This is what they needed to come back. I wonder if, they have really turned it around, and this is the moment that they take it back and really play like they were in the first few games, because this is what they need.
Hansen will take this to the corner, and he lost control. Here goes Tilacto, and it's taken away. Well done by Bakey there. And Bakey past another defender, but it's right back in. And Hansen off to the corner, had to abandon the net. And he's able to get back as this one comes right back to the orange zone and across away from Ashton. So quickly back in. Copenhagen Flames not able to get downfield. Tilacto throws one for Eichwolf, but he just couldn't get there in time. But now it seems like it's Copenhagen Flames that are on the back foot. They can't clear the zone at all. They finally get full boost for Bakey, though. And downfield it goes. Bakey and Hansen. It's Bakey, and Ashton makes the save. As finally Copenhagen Flames get forward and can start some attacks of their own. Coming up on the 3-minute mark in Game 5. And just as important as Game 3 is in a best of 5, this one is all important, and Eichwolf throws one in thanks to the demo from Tilacto.
Oh man, Eichwolf able to come in there for the shot on net. Tilacto is chasing the goalie, able to get that demo, and that he got the demo right as the ball was about to hit that car in the net. It was vital to scoring that goal. Now it is 3 minutes left, and it looks like they want to take a commanding lead before they let Copenhagen Flames come back here.
Popped away here. There's Waffle. Right down the middle, trying to follow it up. He goes right under the ball. And Ashton can't clear past Bakey. This may be on target. Big bump from Bakey, but it's going to be cleared by Eichwolf. They almost got revenge for that last goal, but Tilacto will breathe a sigh of relief, and it remains a 2-0 lead for Overrated as we get into the second half of Game 5. And some miscommunication from the Flames. That's going to set up Overrated again, but Tilacto couldn't get the second touch. Bakey does get a shot on, and Ashton is there at the post. Another one lobbed in, and that goes off to the corner. Well defended by Overrated. As they've woken up here in Game 5, it's Eichwolf sending another one down. He's got a savior badge, and narrowly missed there by the Flames in the middle of the field. And it kills off another Copenhagen attack, and it preserves this lead a little longer for Overrated.
Yeah, Overrated. They need to keep this here. They can just stall out and win this game and push on for the final game to win this whole thing. Oh my gosh, but that kind of miss by Tilacto might be the tilting kind that they don't want. And that is a bad rotational play by them, and that lets Hansen have a free shot on net to start the comeback that they don't want to happen.
Well, people wondering where Hansen is. There he is. It's a 2-1 game now as Hansen breaks through for Copenhagen Flames. It's a gift, really, from Overrated. We'll see how costly it is in the grand scheme of things. Bakey comes up empty, and so Waffle will have to come back and recover. And now Bakey and Waffle collide. They've got to get back on defense as Eichwolf had started a counterattack. And really, both teams seem to be out of sorts right now. That's centered by Ashton, and Bakey couldn't get a shot on. Now it goes to the corner for Tilacto with a minute to go. Driving through the defense. We've seen some great dribbling plays from him all series long, and he almost put another one in. That would have been great with 50 to go. Big demo from Tilacto, and here's Bakey. Off the back wall. No, Eichwolf is there to set it away, Tom, and now Overrated. You wonder if they go in the shell defensively. Try to turtle up and not let anything through.
Well, you want to apply pressure so your opponents don't have any opportunities to push it on. Oh, but that, there's no need to turtle when you can just keep scoring. That's the 3-1 lead as Ashton passes it high for Tilacto to dunk over Waffle to get it into that lower corner of that net. CPH Flames, it seems like their commanding wins look absolutely nothing like this. It's as if 3 different people take the controllers from these players and just play like a completely different team. Tilacto not able to find it.
Tilacto the save! Wow, what a save from Tilacto! Keeping it a 2-goal game and killing off any hope of Copenhagen Flames coming back in Game 5. Remember that play in the story of this series as Tilacto slams the door shut. How fitting would it be if he can drop this one in? Instead, Hansen with some frustration, swats it away. And that will do it in Game 5. Impressively done by Overrated. They get outscored 12-1 in the last 2 games and come back with authority and slam the door shut in Game 5. They are 1 win away from winning Mind Games Season 3.
Oh, what a great game from Overrated. But each team that's won any of the games in this series, you can say it's been a great game for them. Who has ever won in this series, it seems like they've won by a landslide. Overrated doing such a great job taking out CPH Flames 3 times in this series so far, but their wins have not been close to the crazy score lines that CPH Flames have put up against them. It's so, I don't know, it feels like this matchup is so temperamental because if Overrated are feeling hot and they're ready to go, they'll absolutely destroy CPH Flames. If CPH Flames want to shake it off and come back, they'll break them out and they'll win 6-0. Like, it's so one-sided, but it's so back and forth that you can't help believe it's even, but the score lines don't show that at all. It's really interesting. Oh.
And the players are going to back out. It looks like we had a problem. Maybe somebody joined the wrong side or some kind of connection issue. So what we'll do is we'll remake the lobby. And of course, the tension builds even more. The suspense continues to build as these two juggernauts continue to battle. And we'll see in a few minutes if Ike Wolf and Ashton are able to successfully defend their Mind Games League championships. Tom, we've seen now 17 games today. We're going to see game number 18. What has impressed you the most between from each of these two teams leading into game 6 here?
Ike Wolf and Ashton's passing abilities have, when they pick them up and when they use those tools at their availability, then they make the most incredible passing plays downfield that I've ever seen. Great redirects and great reads on their teammates' hits. However, the past few games when they weren't winning against CPH Flames and CPH Flames really took it against them, that was really the one thing that I didn't see a lot from them at all. They played a lot more individually, trying to make dribbling plays. You saw actually Tylacto trying to make a number of dribbling plays that didn't end up working. But when you're dribbling and it doesn't work out for you, you get dunked. That ball is going all the way back into your defensive end, and your team's going to have to deal with it and clear it out again. So those kind of plays are not working for them. In fact, it will hamper their ability to win. Now, I want to see everyone step up here and have a great final few games of this series.
Well, here we go. It's Hansen trying to get this forward for Copenhagen Flames, and a shot on, blocked away by Ike Wolf. Hansen had the demo, trying to set things up for the Flames, and Tylacto with a great clear off the corner, well read. And back it goes down from Waffle over Ashton, and Ike Wolf has to scramble across in front to make a big-time clear and keep Copenhagen Flames from having an empty net to shoot at. There's Waffle for Tylacto to send away. Ike Wolf, back wall, Northern Gaming style play, followed up by Tylacto and Ashton. All 3 members of Overrated contribute to a 1-0 lead in Game 6.
What a beautiful passing play up off the high wall there. And that's exactly what I was talking about before this game started. If they make those kind of passing plays, they are going to absolutely crush CPH Flames because of their coordination. But if they let those go loose, they're going to end up losing because they won't have the offensive pressure necessary to take the win. But it seems like they're off to a really strong start already.
So if the score holds, Overrated are your Season 3 Mind Games League champions, but we've got a long way to go, and there's Waffle dropping one in. We are nowhere close to determining a winner tonight.
Yeah, CPH Flames seem to have a word to disagree with you there, as when they hear you say that, they just want to put it right in and prove you wrong. That is another one for CPH Flames. I hope this is looking to be the closest match between these two teams we've seen so far.
Ike Wolf rolls one in, and Baker is right there. And it's Ashton coming right up on Baker. Baker was just stopped and couldn't get downfield at all. So now Ike Wolf will begin another attack for Overrated. Short-lived as Hansen puts a shot on, and Telacto has to put that one off the top of his car and away. It's Ashton downfield, and Hansen right there, but Telacto beat him to it. Well done by Overrated, but it turns into a clear from Bakey and the Copenhagen Flames. Back at it again in Game 6. Must win for Copenhagen Flames to try and force Game 7. And wouldn't that be exactly how the script should go? Here goes Telacto. He's got other plans. Ashton follows that up. And Bakey has the clear. Hansen could not get out of the reach of Ike Wolf. Excellent defending from Ike Wolf, as we've seen all night from him.
Yeah, Ike Wolf is an absolute monster in the goal there. He doesn't let anything past him. But Asheton almost making that one. He popped a little bit too high. Or maybe he's trying to set up for a teammate here. But now it's Tylacto going up for it.
It's Ashton off to the corner. And set up for a big clear instead. It's going to be Waffle who just has to throw it at the back wall and hope that Bakey is there, and he is. Hansen now with a clear. That could end up with Overrated, though. It's in front and sent away. Well done. Ike Wolf had gotten there, but it wasn't good enough. Ashton's shot is blocked off. But they've got Copenhagen on the ropes defensively. Bounced in, and Bakey is there to make the save. Waffle down to the corner, and Ashton is right there and drives right by the ball. Chance for Bakey now, but that's going to be Ike Wolf's ball all the way. Inside 2 minutes now in Game 6. And the tension continues to build. So far tied up. And this one will kick out to the corner. Hansen coming on. He's been clutch all night for Copenhagen Flames. But Telacto is up to the task defensively. Off to the side it goes now, and Ike Wolf not able to get there. He thought better about jumping after it. Hansen over Ike Wolf, over Ashton, but Telacto is there, making another save. And for this Overrated team, as they get downfield, it hasn't just been one standout. Everybody has contributed equally all season long. I really think, no matter who wins, I think they're the best all-around team in this league. We'll see if it's good enough, though, to overcome the Flames in the final minute. It's Bakey for Hansen, right down the middle, and there's a big-time goal for Copenhagen Flames, taking a lead late in Game 6.
I know I was talking about the passing plays between Ike Wolf, Tylacto, and Asheton, but the passing play here from Bakey to Hansen for that shot in the air was perfectly placed high and just under the crossbar. So the defense of Overrated were not able to get there in time. There's no way they could have saved that one with that kind of placement on net. They're going to try to make this sort of play happen again. However, Tylacto is in net this time.
45 seconds. Telacto desperately getting a touch to keep that away from Hansen. Hansen was lining up what would have been the final nail in the coffin of Game 6, but instead Overrated back downfield, only short-lived, and Ashton couldn't actually get a solid hit. So now Telacto sizing one up, looking for Ashton. They've got the play set up. There's Telacto, denied up in the air by Hansen. Bakey can only pop this up. Ashton on target, but Waffle makes the save. And Ike Wolf is denied there. 7 seconds left. Shots coming in. Telacto can't get one on target. Down to 3 seconds. Game 7 is looming. If this ball hits the ground, we're going to have a seventh game in the Grand Finals.
Grand Finals of Mon Games Season 3 is going to a Game 7, ladies and gentlemen. A Game 7. Tylacto, Asheton, Ike Wolf on the side of Overrated lose out to CPH Flames. Bakey, Waffle, and Hansen all doing such a great job especially with their passing plays up in the air at the very end there to squeak out that lead, to force that game 7, and hope maybe even take the win. We'll see what happens. Overrated and CPH Flames. This was by far the closest game between these two teams. Every single game has either gone one complete way or the complete opposite way. Either team winning by a large margin. However, this final game, I feel like as the series goes on, both these teams become more comfortable with playing against the other. And since both teams know they can win against the other, they're both going to be trying their absolute hardest to be playing for that $75 prize for the grand finals of Mind Games Esports Season 3.
Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. One more game to determine who your champion is. Overrated and Copenhagen Flames. 5 minutes for the last time. Here we go. Buckle your seatbelts. This will be a wild ride as Bakey sends one in and Ashton makes an early stop. And the first goal will be very, very important. A big psychological boost. And Talacto almost had it. Ashton's shot is high. Follow-up goes wide off to the side. And Copenhagen Flames dodge a bullet early in Game 7. Talacto will pass one back to Eichwolf and start the attack again. Talacto trying to fool Waffle, and Waffle was having none of it. Well defended by the Flames. But Eichwolf is here this time, and they finally break through early in Game 7.
Even if a touch wasn't on the net, every single touch, that entire play between Eichwolf, Ashton, and Talacto was a pass to the other players on their team, weaving the ball in between their opponents. Eventually, Ashton was able to pop it up along the wall for Eichwolf to take that shot on net. Really good play on the side of Overrated, and they're already looking to take this game with fire.
Talacto trying to carry this out, and it's Eichwolf that plays it forward. Waffle can only slam it off the back wall. Flames are in trouble defensively, but Ashton isn't there. Now it's Waffle off to the side. Talacto giving chase, so is Bakey. That's a shot just wide, and Ashton is there for the clear. Well done by Talacto as we go downfield for Eichwolf. Full boost, and Talacto was looking for the bump on Hansen. It was enough anyways. Eichwolf finds a way for his second in Game 7.
Eichwolf pinches it off the corner here. Hansen saves it, but Eichwolf's in a perfect position to bring it around, pop it over him, and then force that ball in to secure the goal. The second goal with only 3 minutes and 46 seconds left on this clock. That's all the time that Copenhagen Flames have to bring it back, but Overrated looks like they are just running on fire and they are ready to not give up in this game.
Another one thrown in front, but nobody's back for Overrated, and Bakey's got other plans. He'll roll one into an empty net, and we're far from finished in Game 7.
The overextension by Overrated was a horrible mistake by all of them, as all it took was one simple clear to take a goal back from them and to squeak that goal lead down by 1 to just a 1-goal lead for Overrated.
Talacto sends this off to the corner, and here come the Flames, but that's going to be Ashton extinguishing that attack very early. And another one rolled in, and Waffle makes the stop. Ashton was looking for the dunk. And now Bakey downfield. Eichwolf in trouble, and he circles around to send this off to the corner. Follow up by Hansen, right down the middle from Bakey, and Talacto got just enough to send it away. But Copenhagen Flames, they are not going away here. Another one off the back wall. Eichwolf will clear it all the way downfield. And that's a big relief for Overrated. And another one in front. This is trouble. Hansen has to come in and make sure there's no shot. Ball one all the way downfield at the halfway mark, and Talacto will get credit for a save. There's Hansen right at Ashton. And another save for Overrated. There have been plenty of shots to go around here. A total of 11. Make it 12. Bakey has found a goal to tie it just after the halfway mark.
If only they'd scored that 1 second sooner, it would have been 2-2 at 2 minutes and 22 seconds. But what a great play by them to score that up. That is Bakey again with another goal on the assist of Hansen. Hansen doing such a great job setting up his team for the offensive plays they need to make this. Oh, Hansen almost making that one off the wall there.
Ike Wolf just drops us off to the corner, but Bakey is right there. And Tilacto has to make a big clear downfield and able to keep this ball going forward. As Waffle now tries to get by Ike Wolf. And aerial won by Ashton. Ike Wolf coming on, can't get there. And now downfield, takes a fortunate kick off of a defender. And Hansen will get credit. It's a pull shot technically. Bring the Flames, they've got the lead.
That is a 1-goal lead for CPH Flames after being down 2-0. Now Overrated has 1 minute and 45 seconds left to tie it back up and to take the win. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 7th game in this best of 7 series. So whoever wins this will be taking the prize and the title of Mind Game Season 3 champion.
Ashton does well to get it by one attacker, but another shot in, and Ike Wolf makes the save. All the momentum belongs to Copenhagen Flames. Waffle almost forced one through. Ike Wolf just drops this off to the side. And now who's onto it next? Big touch coming, it's Ike Wolf. And now Tilacto comes up empty. But Ike Wolf keeps us in the zone. So Overrated needs a comeback here in Game 7. They are your defending champions. At least Ashton and Ike Wolf. Tilacto joined them, and he's had a heck of a day so far. But it's not enough, at least not yet. Tilacto's shot goes just wide. It would have been fitting had he been the hero that tied it. Instead, another shot from Ike Wolf, sent away by Waffle. Final minute now, Tom. 40 seconds to go. And this game's still well up in the air, but the Flames have the advantage.
Yeah, Overrated needs to make their play now. This passing play to Tilacto has to mean something as there's only 30 seconds left, and they're still down by 1.
It's popped in by Ike Wolf, way up above, but Becky is right there. Ashton not able to follow this up. Oh, he does. Keeps it in the zone with 13 to go. Last chance for Overrated, the defending champs, on the ropes. Hansen has an open net to shoot at. He'll just bomb it downfield. And if Overrated are going to do it, they need to go the length of the field in the air. Ike Wolf gets this up, and it's sent all the way across off the corner, so it's still up. No time on the clock. Again, they need to get downfield. Here's Ike Wolf. Needs this off the corner. It does kick out, but it's sent away downfield. So again, they keep this alive. And now down back to the blue side. That's going to do it. Bring the Flames. They bring it all the way back and win it in 7.
After being down the first 2 games in the best of 7 series, after losing and then coming back and absolutely crushing Overrated 6-1, 6-0, and then losing, but then coming back in the 7th game of the series to win it by 1 point. What a great series by both of these teams. You have to give so much credit to all 6 players here, sticking it through to the end here and dealing with each other after being crushed and after crushing their opponents both ways. But congratulations to CPH Flames for being the Mind Game Esports Season 3 Grand Champions, the winners of the $75 prize and the bragging rights. Moving on to our future seasons.
And it caps off what has been a great weekend for Copenhagen Flames. We talked about the just getting to the grand finals here after a very strong regular season, and then the strong performance in the Leaf Esports kind of preliminary seeding tournament. They've been seeded highly there, and now they win this grand final, and things continue to look up for Copenhagen Flames. So that brings to a close what has been, I think the only way you could describe this season is nothing short of exciting. We've had many ups and downs for all of the teams involved, and the very highest of highs belongs to Copenhagen Flames, Tom, as they do win the grand finals here in a very, very impressive performance in both the semis and the championship.
Yeah. And one more time, just a congratulations to, first off, all the teams that played tonight, and to all of you who played in the Mind Games Season 3 League. I'd also highly suggest everyone who's listening to the stream right now to check out the Mind Games Discord. In the chat, there will be a link there, and to follow their Twitter, as well as check out all the tournaments that they run and the Mind Games League that they run. You guys should all sign up for and be a part of, because it's always great fun.
Well, on behalf of my co-caster Tom Kelly, and for Pat Burtz and Absinthe and Bucketman, the entire Mind Games crew who have done a fantastic job all season long running this and giving us the opportunity to bring you these games, we thank you for watching. Stack signing off one more time. It's Copenhagen Flames in Game 7, the grand champions of Mind Game League Season 3, and we can't wait to see you for the next season.